So let's bring in our floor show traders. Joining me now, Equity Armor Investment CEO Luke Rabari and Carnivore Trading CEO Dutch Masters. Luke, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Liz.
The Goldman issue is sort of singular, right? But there are a lot of people who are saying go into emerging markets, go into Europe, because they are so badly beaten down, they are really poised to run.
Yeah, this reminds me of the dogs of the Dow. Remember that thing when the ones that are down the furthest you should buy, but also the dollar's really backed off, right? And that really hurt those markets. So we are looking at some emerging market stocks, but also remember 50% of the S&P gains come from overseas. Pick some U.S. names that have a lot of business overseas and that can benefit from that. And there's some names that we like that do that.
Such as?
We like Coca-Cola. Nike's another one, Microsoft, and with what's happening with the U.S. and the chip stocks that I know you've been focusing on, chip stocks are now more than technology, they're defense, they're national defense. And there's some chip companies now that no longer deal with China, and the U.S. is basically forcing other countries to buy
Well,
US
you like
chips.
NVIDIA, right?
Love NVIDIA.
Okay, so this brings in Dutch. Dutch, you had shorted the NASDAQ 100 last year. It was an epic trade. It had your fund up more than 300%, which is quite impressive considering the S&P had fallen, as we all know. But do you look at chips? Do you look at some other side window opportunities? Because you have a different prism through which you scrutinize.
Well, yeah, I really agree with Luke on just about everything he said, including the chip world. Trader Z, our resident genius here, has been pounding the table on chips here, and he completely agrees with what Luke just said about the chips becoming a national defense issue. We are short only one sector right now, and that's the marine shippers, and we're very selective there. They're kind of hanging out. They look like they rolled over a little bit, but the rest of us are really getting a little more positive, Liz. I mean, I know that's shocking coming from us, but, after a year of talking about the negative and frankly, it just gets a little old, right? And the market gets a little tired of it. We really like this come off the bottom slingshot trade that we think is being set up. We call it the slingshot because you have great companies like Amazon or Salesforce.com. They have fantastic businesses. They're cutting their expense lines. They're cutting their everything that they have, they're cutting back, maybe for the first time in 10 or 20 years. And this protects the near-term EPS numbers, but it really sets up a slingshot down the road when things turn.
Okay, and so here becomes the question. He's got Salesforce, Amazon, Duolingo, Arhaus, Marathon Digital Holdings. Luke, we have seen suddenly quite a sign of life from crypto, and our investor audience is somewhat skeptical in some cases because a lot of people have gotten burned. Dutch likes Marathon, which is a miner. Yeah. This is Marathon, the crypto miner, not Marathon, the oil company. When you look at Bitcoin right now, it is 21,362 after languishing around 16,000. Any trades here, or as a longtime trader, what's your gut reaction?
We're staying away from Bitcoin, and I will tell you, as you know, we had a mining operation and a trading operation in Bitcoin, but we've been out of it for a couple of years. So right now—
Did you make money before you got out of it?
We did. We did, but right now we just don't want to be involved in it. There's just too much going on, and I think there's other opportunities. And again, another way you can play crypto are these chip stocks, but not all the chip stocks. Last year we created a structured product around the chip stocks for our clients that gave them a little bit of a buffer, and we picked some names. I think there's going to be winners and losers in the chip sector, but some really good winners.
Dutch, you like, as one of the Dow components, CRM, of course, that's Salesforce. We didn't even talk about Disney yet. Disney is in the headlines once again today, and earlier, I got to check it now, but it had been moving higher, and they came out swinging against the activist investor Nelson Peltz, who pounced last week, saying that he wants a seat on the board. Yeah, Disney is up about 1% at the moment. $100, 100 and change. Annual high is 157. They are pretty dramatic. In fact, they're saying that Nelson Peltz does not understand Disney's business. You'd rather go with Salesforce as a Dow component here.
I would. I have to tell you that there's it's a messy situation over at Disney, so I try to stay away from the mess. And getting back to the Bitcoin thing, there's so much FOMO going on in the Bitcoin world that, I mean, we looked at this just as a nice trade off the bottom, but the fact is that Bitcoin at 21,000 can go to 30 or 40,000 a lot faster than people think. You have to be really careful with these stocks because they can burn you really bad. You can get trapped really bad, but it's a more speculative trade for sure.
Well, Dutch, that's why we have you on. And Luke, it's so great to see you once again.
Great seeing you, Liz.
And is Trader Z, Dutch, related to Mr. X? Who's Trader Z? What the hell?
Trader Z is our top secret weapon.
Oh my God. All right, it's great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.